What did you see from both Tatum Bethune and D. Winters in Sunday's game after?
I thought they did a good job. They were running around hitting. Obviously, there was a couple plays I think we all we wish we had back. But overall, for Tatum, I think he did a nice job, and I think it'll be even better this week after having an entire week of practice. Now you're good.
Tatum was saying it's important for him to be himself and not try to be Fred. What's Tatum's leadership style like?
He does. I think comparing people is always dangerous, right? Or trying to find parallels. Fred's his own man. Just like when Fred took over, was it in 2018? He was after having a string of Navarro Bowman and Patrick Willis. It's Tatum's opportunity to go run the defense and run the show, and Tatum just needs to be Tatum. He doesn't have to make any plays that are spectacular. He just needs to make his play, and as he gets reps and he gets comfortable. A lot of people got to remember he's only in his second year. You can really call him a rookie because he didn't get much playing time last year. He's just got to bank these reps, see the game, and again, the more he gets reps, the more he sees, the faster he'll get.
Both how close you are to Fred, and the fact that he's never hurt. This has never been that guy. How has this one hit you?
It does for Fred. He's a Hall of Famer, first ballot, period, and he still has so many more years left in the tank, and for it to kind of for this season to end the way it did, just shameful, but at the same time, I know if we all know Fred, he's probably gunning to see if he can make it back for a playoff run. So it's he's in great spirits. Surgery went great. He's going to be around the building, I'm sure, the entire time, but I heard more for Fred than anything else.
A couple questions. One about Fred. How challenging is it to kind of make sure that the defense doesn't drop off with someone like Fred not out there? And then the other question, after you answer that one, Tatum Bethune, what is it that you saw in him that, solidified him in your mind as the right next man up to fill this position in Fred's absence? For
sure. First off with Tatum, Fred didn't practice throughout OTAs, so he had a lot of banked reps with the ones throughout OTAs, which is which is actually a benefit at this point. But Tatum's made of the right stuff. He works the right way. He communicates the right way. He does things the right way. He's very confident in his ability. And I've said this to a million people as it pertains to drop off. I dare any of you to go to Tatum and say, well, you're a backup, so I expected it. Tatum doesn't see that. His teammates don't see that. Every player in that locker room believes that they can start and they can play at a high level. They just need an opportunity to do so. And this is now Tatum's opportunity. And the growth that he'll experience between now and week, however many weeks are in NFL season now, game 17 is going to be significant. I can promise that. And I'm excited to see him grow throughout this process.
Someone a good fit to play middle linebacker in your
their ability to communicate. We've kind of narrowed it down. Back when I first got in the league, the Sam backer was like 240 long, at the edge. Will linebacker was kind of smaller and fast, and the Mike linebacker was kind of in between. I believe it was 2019 when we shifted the profile to just they're all the same guy. Whoever speaks and communicates the best is the Mike linebacker, and so in this case, Tatum is next up.
Robert, you guys have made some clutch plays on defense to finish off some wins, but are you racking your brain trying to figure out how to get more production out of the pass rush and the secondary?
We're always, it's been obviously frustrating because I feel like we've had our opportunities to get some hands on some footballs and get some interceptions. It's just been feels like one of those years, but they come in bunches. But as far as the pass rush is concerned and coverage is concerned, we're always trying to find ways to do it. Thought we did a good job for the most part against Tampa. We had the 3rd and 14, and Baker's been doing it to everybody, getting out of the pocket. We picked up a sack. So but to answer your question, we're always trying to find ways, for sure.
Go back to Tampa and just explain what happened on the play where you didn't have the right defensive end in.
Yeah. From a communication standpoint, between special teams and getting guys out on the field, like I said, shameful that it happened that way from a communication standpoint, and So I'm always going to beat myself up off that because that starts with me.
As young defenders played really well. I thought in the second half there were some busts. How do you get them to kind of play loose and fast, not all gas, no brakes, but then still the attention to the details so you don't have those busts?
The speed at which you want them to play is go. I don't care how, go fast. You're going to make a mistake, go fast doing it. The detail comes with reps. And, so with these young guys, the last thing you want to do is cripple them. The beauty of them is that they're explosive, they're fast, they're hungry, it's a race to be the first at the ball. So you don't want to pull back on that. It is so to answer the first part, it is full go 100%. And you just stay on the details and you just keep coaching it and coaching it and coaching it. And eventually all the little things that are happening from a mistake standpoint that cost you, whether they cost you touchdowns or explosive plays, like a couple did in the game, you trust that if they just keep the mindset, keep that full speed mentality, and stay attentive to the details, eventually those will cancel out.
I have a follow-up to the rookies. Obviously, a lot has been expected of them this whole time. Do you have to caution them in some ways to not press when guys like Fred and Vos are going to try not to do too much and kind of keep on their path, so to speak?
I don't think they know any better. They're just going out there and they're playing the game as best they can, and a lot of times they're just playing off of pure physical ability. There's a lot of things happening mentally that they're still unaware of. And can get into a whole dissertation as to why the second year slump happens, because now they think they know and they lock themselves up and they forget why they were so good as rookies, and they're just out there playing. And so there's, like I said, there's going to be mistakes. They're going to gain some scars, but as long as they're getting those scars at 100 miles an hour, you trust that eventually they'll learn and maintain their speed while executing at a very high level.
Coach Kyle Shanahan was asked about Pinnock and the difference in snaps in week 6 versus the weeks previous, and he kind of mentioned that Jair kind of earned that role. If you can just kind of speak to what you guys saw each week from Jair when he was taking more snaps in special teams that kind of helped him to kind of thrust himself back into that position. Yeah,
Jair's been consistent, and and to be clear, like, that spot's not dead. The one thing I'll say is that Malik is starting. And as we continue to build up his rep count to get him to where he needs to be from a conditioning standpoint, although he's conditioned, it's. Anyway, long story on that one. But as Malik transitions into getting every single snap, that is the one common denominator, and that he'll be starting. On the other side, Tig's done a really nice job throughout training camp and throughout the first 3 weeks of the season, giving himself the ability to step in there and earn the trust of his teammates and his coaches. And now he's got an opportunity to shut the door at that free safety spot. But and it's nothing against Siegel or Pinnock. They've both done a really nice job. It's just giving him an opportunity. And eventually, as we develop that group, we'll find the right combination of guys to compete.
Well, beyond the obvious talent of the running backs, what's kind of made the Atlanta ground game so successful?
Yeah, their O-line is arguably one of the better ones in football. Very talented group. I think they're very well coached. They're doing a really nice job creating issues in the run game, creating lanes, creating space. The backs, obviously, both of them are outstanding. They're different style runners, but they're both outstanding, and they do a great job scheming it up. So all-encompassing. The receivers block. Their O-line is pretty damn good. Their backs are special. So, and then you got to respect the quarterback, because he is able to off-play action pass, make you pay, and the receivers can make you pay in the pass game. So they've done a really good job building it. They've done a great job coaching it, and the players are doing an outstanding job executing it.
Robert, what do you think
Does Charlie Warner? Did Charlie Warner stick out to you as a blocking tight end?
He's doing a lot. He kind of feels like I don't want to say exactly the same as Juice, but he does a lot for them. And whether it's in the backfield as an extra running back to allow Bijan to be a receiver in third down, whether it's a lead fullback, whether it's getting out and pass route, whatever it is, whatever there is that they're asking him to do, he does it, and he does it at a pretty high level. So he's been impressive.
Teams will have to defend a guy like London in the quick game. It seems like they're going to him in the quick game. Why is that so hard to defend?
He's such a big body. He's a massive man with great length, strong at the catch point. He's just strong overall, and then at the catch point, his hands are strong. So he's a difficult matchup.
Special team.
Is Fred Warner's his leadership obviously is very strong. Is part of it was speaking after game to the game. Does that carry over and does it linger? Does it continue on even in his absence? Yeah,
because I think he'll be around the locker room. He's not. I texted him the other day. I was like, "You ain't dead, you know. Like, you can come still hang out, grab a cup of coffee, and shoot the shit." But no, he's Fred's special, and like I said, it's unfortunate, but it's someone else's time, and it's their time it's their opportunity, and really looking forward to seeing all these guys grow in their roles. We can do one more. You've been trying.
Special teams will have a lot to do with it, but is there an opportunity for Nick Martin now that there's a spot that's
no, and Nick's had a great week of practice so far. It's only been 2 days. Hopefully he finishes it off strong tomorrow, but I thought today was outstanding without looking at the tape. Flashed in one-on-ones, flashed on special teams, and he flashed on team defense. So he, again, continued to grow, continue to find ways to get better, and see if he can carve out a role for himself.